So as you know, this past year, and most likely most of this year, will result in you guys staying home. What to do when you stay home? With your family. You can't play the same Grand Prix and Mario Kart all over again. So you might have to switch to some alternatives. Your Monopoly pieces are all gone. You're using quarters, you're using buttons, you're using paper clips. And plus, you never get through a full game. This is different. Introducing Exploding Kittens. Now, I'm going to talk about the general version, not this specifically NSFW version. It doesn't really matter which version you get unless you're wanting to play with general audiences, which most likely get the original. Now, Exploding Kittens is pretty self-explanatory. It's like Russian roulette, except you're trying to make other, where you are taking risk at the end of every turn. Except not with a gun. You won't actually die. At least I don't think this might end friendships, but certainly not your life. Now, it's Russian roulette, but it's not as simple, but it is pretty simple. So you're given cards, you play them to prevent yourself from exploding, and you can either defuse, you can make other people draw cards to make them have more of a chance of drawing an exploding kitten. And well, what if you do get an exploding kitten? You can prevent yourself pretty easily. Now, I really like this game because, like I said, it's simple to learn. There's not a 40-page guide. It's one piece of paper with like two sides. With the manual, so you won't have to purchase expansion packs. Well, there are expansion packs for this game, which I haven't gone and sit down and play. That'll be another video, but you don't need a lot to enhance the experience of Exploding Kittens. And so let's go over. 2 to 5 players, 2 minutes to learn, 15 minutes to play. Generally true, but sometimes the concepts of certain actions that cards do take a tiny bit of explaining, not too hard. Number 1 most back Kickstarter ever. Now, this is what brought Kickstarter games into the limelight, obviously. And 2 to 5 players, you can combine a different deck of Exploding Kittens. You might even buy 2 separate decks to make it like a 9, make a 10-player game. But I doubt you'll be allowed to have a 10-player game. Alright, so you're wondering, you mentioned cards with specific actions. Well, I will show you right about now. You have 6 diffuse cards. You need these to prevent yourself from exploding. Obviously, nope cards, which you get to say no to actions. Now, what are the actions? They are these attacks. You make your opponent draw. You skip your turn and make your opponent take 2 turns and having to draw twice, which then they can say no to. Skip cards, which during your playing phase, you can lay them down and skip your turn by not drawing a card. Shuffle, slap it down, and shuffle the deck if you see that Exploding Kitten coming, which you will if you play a Seed the Future card. View the top 3 cards of the deck. You might see an Exploding Kitten coming. You might even see a diffuse card you can cop. Or just a general card you can use to match with these, which these are cat cards. Now what cat cards are, you can play them in different pairs to get different benefits. Like, so if you play two of a kind, so if you play two bikini cats, you can have a player hold out your hand and you can get a sorted card. All right. And if three of a kind, you can just straight up demand what you want. Which, number one action, and only action I've seen out playing this game, someone always asks for a diffuse card. And I generally always ask for a diffuse card. And favor is pretty self-explanatory. So you pretty much slap it down, and your opponent gives you a card of their choice, which is most likely going to be a cat card they either don't know that you need or you really don't need. You can play multiple types of cards during a turn. That's pretty much all I have to say about this. So the question is, does this hold up for being the #1 most backed Kickstarter project? Now, this can obviously change. I think this is most likely a marketing ploy they have. And yes, it was, which is definitely why more board game companies are turning to Kickstarter to fund their games. And yes, this is very accessible. You can get any sort, or even the digital version, which I will link down below. And, well, anyway, guys, glad I could make this video. And remember to like, subscribe, bye-bye, and I'll see you guys next time.